Quick disclaimer before we start this video. This was filmed end of November, but then I moved abroad, I got sick, you get it. So here we are, 6 weeks later, with another 24-hour readathon. Enjoy! Hello and welcome back to this new video of mine. I'm gonna do a 24-hour readathon again. I don't know what's wrong with me, why I'm continuously attempting to do this, but it tackles my TBR quite well. As always, I'm a bit intimidated, but it's gonna be alrighty. I wanted to start at 9 AM today and wanted to do it till tomorrow 9 AM. That didn't work so well. We have 3:47 right now. Yeah. I'm planning on reading these 3 books. I'm very curious. I also have a Christmas book in the stack this time. I also have a new release in here, a Tessa Bailey book as well. So I think this is a good mix of things to read within 24 hours. I got my timer here. There we go. So I'm gonna start with reading The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. My mom got this for me last year, and last year I didn't actually get to read it. It's about saving a bookstore in a small town, and also we have a love interest forming in here. I think that sounds very cute and cozy. I just reached the 1 hour mark, almost reached it in 5 minutes. I feel like there's a lot of tension in the family going on in this book, and it's making me feel a bit not so good about the story. I think it gives the discomfort it has to. I'm just curious to continue reading and see where this is gonna go. Sorry for the bad lighting, but I do have to make a short remark. I'm gonna read you a line, and it's not a spoiler, it's really not. I just simply do not like the energy it's giving. She was thinking happily about this, as well as thoroughly enjoying a warm mince pie she'd bought from the coffee shop down the road, which normally she would have felt a little bit guilty about. A few sentences later it says, all this endless marching up and down was having a rather positive effect on her waistline, which meant there was room for a mince pie now and then. I mean, I don't want to have like a body positivity talk right now, but I do not think that this needs to go into a romance book. Even if her waistline would not be shrinking down, let that woman have a mince pie if she wants to. Not everyone has a good relationship to food, and I don't think that this stuff needs to go into a book. This would just trigger someone that already feels guilty about eating a cake every now and then without walking a lot, or without working out, or without having a slim waistline. I feel like there's a lot of stuff in this book where I just highly disagree with, because the main character here is the black sheep of the family, and her sister is like picture perfect, and she has like this picture perfect family, or at least it seems like that. And I think it just brushes upon a lot of issues in today's society that we have, and like the standards we hold for our children and for each other. It's kind of good that it addresses those things, but also on the other hand, I feel like I don't want to read about those things in a Christmas book. Like, it's just not my vibe. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Let me know what you think about this. Hello again, 4 hours, and I'm exactly on page 200. It's getting a bit better, but I feel like a lot of the characters are very unsympathetic, and it's more about reconciling with your family rather than a love story, which is fine, but there's also not that much Christmas stuff going on. But I'm definitely gonna finish this book tonight. Good morning, rise and shine. I caught up on some sleep, which was needed, definitely. I got my coffee here. I've never tried this one with vanilla. I had the cappuccino one before, which was decent. I finished the book last night. This is the time I stopped the timer at. Let's talk about The Christmas Bookshop. I don't want to give a rating yet. I'm always going to do that at the end of the video. I just need to let it marinate a little bit. In the beginning, I did not like this book as much. I felt like all the characters were unsympathetic, and I don't think that it is necessarily a bad book if you don't like all the characters, but I need to have some in there that I do enjoy reading about. However, after like the first 150 pages or so, it started to pick up a little bit, and I started to enjoy the story more. It is definitely not a pure love story. Like, if you expect this to be all lovey-dovey, you're not gonna get this in this book. Don't expect too much in that regard, but it was a cute Christmas story. At first I also felt like there was not a lot of Christmas stuff happening, but the more and more we went on with the story, the more we actually got like the Christmas environment and stuff, so that was cute. It's a lot about family, so if you don't like kids and books, then this is not gonna be for you. I don't really read a lot of books with kids in them. So this was like pretty refreshing. I liked the way the author wrote the kids. I liked the family aspect of it. The kids made it for me actually. But I also so many times just rolled my eyes about like some of the characters. I was like, I cannot with this, I cannot. But that's just what it is. I mean, that was the intention probably. It was a cute book, but I don't necessarily love the writing style. We had third person POV, but also sometimes it was limited and sometimes it was omniscient, and I was like, what is going on? And sometimes it's just switched randomly between characters within one sentence. It was so confusing sometimes. I did not like that about the writing style. I prefer if it's third person, just for it to be limited. That makes it easier for me. It just depends on what you enjoy. But for me, that was not necessarily it. I still have to think about a rating though. But now I'm torn between these two books. And I feel like I want to read Chase Me first because it's also way smaller. A few days ago, I actually read Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey and I liked that a lot. At first, I found it a bit weird. I mean, this is not a review for Window Shopping now, but I did enjoy the book and I enjoyed her writing style, and it was quite spicy, which I did not expect because I mean, it does not look spicy to me at all. I'm just curious because it sounded very funny, the premise of the book. I quickly made an annotation key. In case I want to highlight anything, I have romantic, quotes, New York, and funny, because I think it's gonna be quite a funny book. And I got like this cute pen set recently on Amazon. They're so nice. I love these highlighters. I'm gonna get to reading now. I'm very excited. I'm only on page 6 of this book, already laughing so much. Why is this so funny? So she took a job offer now and she's in a bunny costume and she has to sing for him, and that's how they meet, and we're literally on page 5. I have to read this to you. And she says, I'm dressed like a rabbit. He says, should I be drunk for this? And then she says, if anyone should be drunk for this, it's me. Fair point. And then the second one, I cannot, I'm crying. And that's what he's saying now. I was named after my grandfather, so technically I'm Louis McNally II. How's that for fancy? Poor pal, you know? And then she has a comeback. She's like, well then, call me Pink Bunny the First. How's that for fancy? Maybe I'm still sleep deprived, but I find this so entertaining and so funny. I'm already annotating a few pages, it's just too funny. Why do I love her? She's iconic. She's like not taking shit from him at all. Oh wow. Every page is so funny. I'm literally laughing out loud. I can't. I just did my makeup and I read a bit before, and currently I still have 14 hours, almost 15 hours left to go. But hear me out. So I'm on page 50 right now, I believe. 41. But it's so cute. I love it so far. I'm really underlining almost something on every page, and I'm drawing in this book, I'm writing in this book. I do like annotating, but I just recently got into it. But now this book really got me into like being a bit more creative with it. I feel like on this channel you can really see my development from never annotating, and then the first book I ever annotated was Beach Read, and now I'm starting to get more into it. This is like a very fun read. I mean, I would not compare this to the 7-Year Slip or Beach Read from the way it emotionally gets me, but it's just so funny. Yeah, so far I really like it. I mean, of course I still have a few more 100 pages to go, but I'm gonna indulge in this. Like, I'm gonna take this slow rather than read it very fast just for the sake of this video. It's taking me a bit longer with all the annotations and stuff, but I'm really soaking up every word, and I like that more than just reading briefly over it just to have read it. I'm gonna continue the timer now, and I'm gonna read for I think around 2 more hours, and then I'm going to dinner with friends, so I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to read today still. Otherwise I'm gonna read tonight depending on when I come home, or tomorrow. That was just a little checkup, and I'm gonna see you in like an hour or 2 again. Oh my god, I dropped it. Oh no. And also, can we please talk about that one scene? So she gives him her number, which, okay, oh good, he asked for it. But then he says, thank you, but I want a date. I want to look at you when I'm talking to you, not an iPhone screen. Who is this man? Hello? And she's like, I'm a busy girl. And he says, make time. That's how dating should be like. Literally, I was reading this, I was like, yes, exactly. Don't just text all the time. Take her out on a date. This is something I appreciate. A man that's not gonna beat around the bush and gonna play games or something. He takes a big part in hookup culture, obviously, but he's at least straight up and forward, and I like that. That should be the new standard, you know? Just saying. Just saying. Something is happening. that I already thought would happen. I'm sometimes saying that because I feel like it would make sense to the storyline if it would happen. But I'm so scared now. This is gonna be... I don't want to spoil you guys, but this is terrible. I got my coffee. Gonna continue reading. So cozy. It's very fresh outside today, so my hoodie is coming in handy. Another checkup. I just passed hour 11, almost halfway, and I'm on page 106, over 1/3, and it's so good. It's so fun to read. I really enjoy it. I'm gonna maybe read like 15 minutes more or something, and then I'm gonna get ready to go to dinner. It's so fun. That's why I love reading, for those moments where you're just sitting down and you're just laughing and smiling, and I could kick my feet in the air. If I would be in bed right now, I'd be sitting there like this, you know, like a crazy woman. That's what I love reading for. I mean, not for the 2 or 3 star reads, but for the 4.5 stars or something, you know? Nah, I don't think this is gonna be a 5 star, but still, for like very good books, that's what I love reading for. I'm gonna get ready now because this hair is not it. Talk to you later. Good morning. It's currently day 3. It's half time, so 12 hours are still left of this challenge. It's taking me way longer than I expected, and I want to at least tackle like maybe 7 to 8 hours. I think that would be great. I'm halfway through the book Chase Me as well, which is amazing. I feel like in the beginning I loved it a bit more than I love it now, but it's still cute. I still like it, but it's not such a slow burn, you know, like immediately there was an attraction. It was immediately clear that they both like each other, but also it's not a huge book, so I don't expect it to have like a very slow burn, but it's a good one. I like it a lot, so I'm gonna continue reading. That's the plan for today. I just got myself some coffee again. I don't know how many times I'm saying this in this video. I'm making myself a lot of coffee recently. But I also finished Chase Me. I still have almost 10 hours left. That's quite a lot. I have to say this was a very quick and easy read. This was like a very fast-paced book. It only had 250 pages because the last 30 were an excerpt of the book Wreck the Halls. In this book we're following Roxy and Louise and their relationship and how they met, because everything is like a bit screwed up just based on the way they meet. So she is wanting to become an actress in New York City, and she's wanting to make money in order to cover all the bills. So what she does is she dresses up in a bunny costume and she gets hired to sing for him by one of his previous one-night stands, and then they share a kiss and he's completely falling for her, and he tries to chase her all over New York in order to still have contact with her and to see her again, but she doesn't believe that he's not just someone who always wants to hook up with people, you know, like she doesn't think that he's actually relationship material. And basically we're following both of them trying to trust each other and trying to build up a connection, but also her professional life, which was really interesting. I did feel like the beginning was way stronger than the ending. The ending felt very abrupt because I was expecting to have 30 more pages left anyways. And also I was like, this was it now? This is what you leave me with? It was sort of not so satisfactory, you know? There was a third act breakup again, like in almost every romance book, but it was so close to the end that it didn't really add up to me how fast everything went. I liked this book, but I read another one of Tessa Bailey's books and I feel like I liked the romance that was created in that one better than in this one here. I also feel like the spicy scenes were like okay, but they were not blowing me away. So I feel like the other book did that way better of hers. It was always a bit rushed here, I felt like. Based on how much I loved this book in the beginning, I was just a bit disappointed because you can see I was annotating a bit more in the beginning as I was towards the end. There was so much humor weaved into the story, like it was so well done, but over the course of the story it stopped a little bit. the sassiness and the edge and like a little bit of jokes in between that got me really laughing out loud. That was more towards the beginning than towards the end. I don't have a rating yet. I just wanted to let you know I feel like the story was declining a little bit, but it's a short book, so it doesn't really matter that much. It's a cute read. It's a fun read. I definitely enjoyed it and I can definitely recommend it to you, but it's definitely not a 5-star read for me. And since I have over 9 hours still left, I'm gonna start reading Check and Mate. I'm actually unsure whether I'm gonna finish this way earlier and even have to read another book. I don't know yet, but I also still have Stealing Infinity by Alison Noel here, so if I finish this before the timer ends, I'm gonna finish Stealing Infinity as well. So that's my thought process, but I'm really curious about that one. So as you can tell, this is a book about chess and it's a young adult. This one was more new adult. So I'm really curious how this is gonna go. I've never read an Ellie Hazelwood book, I have to say, so this is my first one, and it's also not her typical genre that she writes in, so I hope this one is good. I've heard good things so far. I just ordered another Ellie Hazelwood book, so I really hope I enjoy this one. It would be a bit of a shame if I wouldn't. Let's get into this one now. Little reading update. This lighting is very bad, I feel like, but we're just gonna roll with it. It's currently 9 p.m. and I have over 6 hours left to go. I'm also almost halfway with the book. The first 100 pages were pretty slow, like I had troubles getting into the book, but now that I'm in it, I'm fully invested and now I really like it. I don't feel like this is gonna be a 5-star though. I don't think any of these books in this video were, but it is fun to read. I like it. I'm gonna keep you guys posted. It's so gloomy outside today, so I hope you can see me well. The timer just stopped at 3 hours. I'm almost done with this book, which is good. It's really getting better and better and better, but I haven't made up my mind yet about a rating, so I'm gonna keep you posted on that one. Other than that, I just have a lot of things left to do today that are more administrative things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm first gonna do all my other things, get all my stuff done, and then I'm gonna be able to read again. So probably the next time you're gonna have a check-in, it's not gonna be during daylight. Just so you know, it is what it is. I just passed the 2-hour mark and I finished Check and Mate, which was such a cute book. It was so good. And also the facts that were stated in this book about women in the chess industry are actually all true. So I like that. I learned a lot about chess as well. I did play a little bit of chess before, but definitely not on that level. So sometimes I was still a bit confused. But it was just so fun and it got me back into the mood of actually playing. So that was really interesting to me. Overall, I don't know how much I love it though, because I feel like the beginning was a bit slow. Aside from the beginning, I really liked it though, and the ending was really good too. I think it was a really good young adult book. There was a lot of mentioning of sexual things, whereas I'm like, if it's for teenagers or like 12 or 13-year-olds, that's a bit extreme maybe, I don't know. But that also just depends, like maybe that is changing a bit nowadays. Like back when I was younger, I was reading different things, but that's just my observation. I did highly enjoy it though. Now I'm considering I'm gonna get it quickly. Considering of finishing Stealing Infinity, because I only have this much left. That should happen within the next 2 hours, I guess. 1 more hour passed already and I am almost finished with Stealing Infinity. Only 50 pages left, which is exciting. I have not been enjoying this book as much recently. The beginning was okay, but then it went a bit downhill. It's not really picking back up, so I'm a bit disappointed. But that's okay, it's a time traveling story, and before there hasn't been much time traveling going on, and now we were time traveling, but it's not it's not the best book I've ever read. But I'm gonna continue it because now I really want to finish it, just for the sake of this video. So here we go. I have to show you something. Chapter 120, and I skipped 1 page. And then it's already the end of the chapter. They are so short, these chapters, and I don't see a need for it. And it doesn't keep me engaged. It's just confusing me sometimes, and my reading flow is being disrupted by that. I'm not a fan of that, to be honest, but okay. To wrap this video up, I was able to finish 4 books in this video, which I'm very excited about. I mean, I read these 3 and this one I almost finished before already, so basically it's like 3 and 10% of another one. I'm gonna go through all my thoughts now and I'm gonna give you a star rating of these. I mean, my brief thoughts you already got. I'm not gonna go too much into detail with these right now. I just want to give you my star rating and what I thought of them overall after I let it marinate for a little bit, because now a few days have passed and I just wanted to give this like an honest review. This video took me a bit longer than I expected, but that's just what it is. I mean, I still managed to read for 24 hours, so this is still a 24-hour readathon, just not done within 2 days. It was 4 days, I think. Just so you know. I'm just gonna start off with Stealing Infinity because that's the most recent one. I tried to get rid of the sticker, but that did not work so well. I like this. No. Okay, let's start differently. It was okay. It was an okay book. It was more of a time traveling story, which I don't mind necessarily. Actually, I was really curious about this one, but it just kind of let me down. There were a lot of interesting concepts like numerology, tarot, but in the beginning it was more focused on that, and later on during the story, like towards the middle, that just got dropped a little bit, which I was a bit disappointed by. I already showed you before, the chapters are so short, it doesn't make sense to me. So I gave it 2.5 stars. It was nothing life-changing, mind-altering, anything. If you're interested in the story, you can definitely read it. The writing style is very fast-paced, very quick. I didn't feel such a strong connection towards the characters, so that's another point for me why I did not rate it any higher. But that's just my personal preference. I think maybe I would have liked it more when I was 14 or 15 rather than now. I don't know what's happening with my voice right now. Do you hear that? I would not necessarily recommend it to you though. Like, it's not one of my favorites, but it was okay. So 2.5 stars. Then the only Christmas book of this video was The Christmas Bookshop. I think that's also one of the most recent Christmas books I've read, because I usually don't read a lot of Christmas books. I don't know why, I just never got around to it. But this one interested me a lot. My mom got it for me, so I really wanted to like this. But especially in the beginning, the characters were very, very unlikable, which I was a bit disappointed by. Later on, I started to like the family more, so I was more attached to them, but the love story in here didn't add up to me. There was no sparks flying or anything. I liked some of the characters, but I wasn't too connected. And the writing style was also a bit weird to me, because sometimes it was just jumping in perspectives, because it was third-person POV, so I was sometimes a bit confused. I gave this 2.5 stars as well. It was a cute Christmas book, not bad for a Christmas book, but also could be better. It's a cute story though. Then we have Chase Me, which in the beginning I was so excited about. I think I gave you a check-in as well. I loved it in the beginning. It was so funny, so entertaining. And towards the end, it was just a bit lacking. I felt like there was something more supposed to happen, and that didn't. I was a bit sad about that. I liked her roommates though. I think they were really cute. I liked all the characters actually in this book. I think they were all great. It was just missing a little bit, like something. So I think I give this a 3.25. It's not a 3-star. I think it's better than a 3-star, but a 3.5 is also not quite yet, because I loved the characters, I loved the storyline. I think it was really interesting and it was also so funny, but it's nothing that just blew me away and changed my mind forever. And lastly, Check and Mate, the most recent release as well. I was really curious about this and it did not disappoint. I feel like the beginning did disappoint me a little bit, like I expected a bit more of the first 100 pages, but after that it really got the ball rolling and I was really interested and really invested. So that was beautiful, that was lovely. I like the writing style. In the beginning I really had to get used to it though. She makes a lot of references, especially like very modern type references, like what series they're watching, or a lot of brand references and stuff, where I'm like, that's gonna grow outdated pretty fast. So sometimes I don't like that in a book. It gets me out of the reading flow. It did not feel necessarily like a young adult romance though, besides that it was closed doors. There were a lot of heavy themes that were being discussed, which was good. I think there was a really good topic to talk about, especially for a younger audience. I think this can teach you a lot. This really got me thinking, which I love in books, and it just had depths and layers to it. And also, if you're interested in chess, this is definitely a book for you. I gave this 3.5 stars. It's not at all a bad book. I liked the characters, but it was just something missing. So For me, it was not 100% a 5-star or 4-star read, because I don't think I would read this necessarily again, but I did highly enjoy it. 3.5 stars is not a bad rating, neither is 3.25. I can recommend both books to you, definitely, most certainly, but this one was just a bit higher up for me than Chase Me. This was it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. It would really mean the world to me. Leave me a comment down below if you've read Check and Mate yet and how you liked it. Or if you've made it this far in the video, then please leave me a chess figurine down below in the comments so that I know that you watched till the end. Thank you so much for watching, as I already said. Have a beautiful and blissful day, and I'm gonna see you next week. Bye!